Hey guys, so today I thought we would talk a little bit about procrastinating. Now, I am the ultimate procrastinator. I have been my whole life, all through school. It's a miracle I graduated at all. I am like the ultimate lazy person, like the definition of lazy person is me. So as an adult, you still have to do things. You can't just do nothing with your life. I mean, you could do that, but then you wouldn't really get anywhere in life. So I thought I would share with you all the tips that I have like accumulated over the years of, you know, the decades of procrastination that I have experience with and how I get things done even while being a procrastinator and a lazy person. Just, you know, how I stay motivated to get the things I need to do in life done even if I don't want to. So I believe the first step in beating procrastination is to identify the reason why you're procrastinating. I think it's really important to investigate your feelings a little bit about the thing that you are procrastinating or the things you're putting off and the reasons why you are putting it off and delaying action on these things. Is it because you're afraid of something? Is it the fear of the unknown? Is it you don't know what to expect? Are you afraid to fail? Or is it purely just you don't want to? It's so much easier to actually get to work and do the things that you're procrastinating on if you identify why it is you're procrastinating in the first place. The next tip I have is to get motivated or get inspired by external sources. Sometimes we just need a little pep talk to get us up off the couch and actually get things done, and one of my favorite resources for this is Skillshare. Now, I have been sponsored by Skillshare before. This video is sponsored by Skillshare, so thank you, Skillshare. How many times am I gonna say that in this video? So ever since my last video that I did with Skillshare, I have been maintaining my membership and paying for it with my own money because I truly love all the classes that they offer on there because they have endless amounts. They have over 26,000 different types of class, well, not different types, different classes, but tons of different subcategories and types. Literally anything you can think of that you want to learn more about, it's on Skillshare, trust me. My favorite classes that they offer on there are a lot to do with lifestyle and productivity. They have tons of videos on procrastination, which is perfect for this video, so highly recommend checking it out. If you use the link in my description box below, the first 500 viewers who click on that will get 2 months free, and then after that the annual subscription is only around $10 a month. But they have tons of like inspiring, motivating content as well. And every time I listen to one of these classes or watch one of these classes, I just feel so motivated to like get started with my life, you know? One of my favorite classes that they have on there that I'm currently in the midst of watching right now is called 10 Ways to Change Your Brain Chemistry Without Medication. It's not really related to this video, but it is fascinating and I love learning about this kind of stuff. The next tip I have is actually my biggest tip and the most helpful one that I have ever learned or that I use on a daily basis, and that is rewards. Rewards work. You know, we're not children, we are adults and we do the things that we need to do in life, but rewards simply work just as if we were children. Like, it is just a plain fact that when we reward ourselves with something, we are more motivated to do something. So I want you to picture what you would rather be doing than whatever it is you're procrastinating on. Picture what you'd rather be doing, whether it be watching TV, binging, laying on the couch doing nothing, eating food, going thrifting, going shopping, whatever your vice is that you would rather be doing than that thing. Picture that in your head. And now picture yourself doing that after you complete that thing. My thing is watching TV. I could do it all day long if, you know, I didn't have house chores and a job and things that I needed to do. I would easily binge show after show after show. It is just my thing. So what I do is I tell myself, you're allowed to do those things after you get the adult things done. It's really simple, but honestly, it works. It's super motivating for me because at the end of the task that I get done and when I do sit down to watch my TV, it is guilt-free because I've already completed the things I needed to do in that day. When you use it as a reward, it really allows you to truly enjoy that time or that thing that you love doing so much and would rather be doing than sitting there sulking, thinking about all the things that you need to get done that you're procrastinating and you're not truly enjoying the thing that you would rather be doing because you're thinking about everything else you have to do. So as a lazy person who loves her shows, you can find me on the couch after I've completed anything, like literally anything. I will reward myself with a TV show. My next advice for beating procrastination is to focus on one thing at a time, wholeheartedly, full attention. We like to think that we can multitask and that it's actually more productive to multitask, and I've talked about this in the past on my productivity video, I believe. So when we're behind on projects, we try to squeeze squeeze as many in as possible to get them done as quickly as possible, but this is not productive at all. Our brains simply cannot focus on more than one thing at a time if it requires the same cognitive function as each other. For example, it might be okay to listen to an audiobook while you're doing the dishes, but you're not going to be able to listen to that audiobook while you're writing an email or writing a project or writing in general. You can't listen to a presentation or a Skillshare class while you're working on your own schoolwork, for instance. You know, you're using different parts of your brain, but they're ultimately requiring similar cognitive skills, and it's not going to be your best work, and you're not going to be the most efficient when you're trying to multitask like that. So take the time to really plan out the thing that you're procrastinating, take some outlining time or brainstorming time, and spend that time to focus on that one thing wholeheartedly with all of your attention. This ensures that the work that you're actually putting towards it is the most efficient and effective and the best work that you have, so you're not ultimately wasting your time. Another tip that I love is to set a timer for yourself. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever is most motivating for you and whatever you feel you have in you to work on that project or work on that thing or whatever it may be. Put a timer on for that amount of time that you feel is reasonable and that will actually get you up and doing it. And then you tell yourself you only have to work on it for that time. And chances are, as you're working on it and that timer goes off, you're gonna wanna continue. You're gonna be motivated to continue, because the hardest part about procrastination is the beginning. It's the getting started. It's the first step of like actually stopping what you're currently doing to get up and like do that thing. But if we tell ourselves, okay, I can turn off my TV for 20 minutes, I can do the dishes for 20 minutes, not a big deal, we're more likely to do it, because then when we go back to our thing that we love doing instead of whatever we're procrastinating, we're gonna love that thing even more and enjoy it even more because that thing is already done. I do this all the time with cleaning the kitchen. That is my least favorite chore in the whole house, is anything kitchen related. I hate it. I hate doing the dishes. It's just not my thing. So I tell myself this all the time. I'll just do half the sink of dishes. I'll just spend 5 minutes in the kitchen tidying up, and then by the time that's over, it's like I might as well just finish because I'm here, I'm already doing it, and it's gonna take more time for me to stop and then have to continue at a later time, so I might as well just finish it all. Something similar to this is the Pomodoro technique, where you set a timer for 25 minutes, and after that 25 minutes you take a 3 to 5 minute break, and you do this for 4 Pomodoro cycles, and then at the end of 4 cycles, 4 25-minute increments, you take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. I find this really motivating because you know that there's always going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. After 25 minutes, that's a short amount of time to do something. 25 minutes is not a long time, so at the end of that you get 5 minutes to do whatever it is you want to do, and then you get back to work. This kind of helps with your focus and your concentration and your efficiency in your work. Also, sorry if I sound really nasally. I'm getting over a cold for the 5th time this winter. My next piece of advice is kind of not controversial none of this is controversial by any means, but it's something that some people preach and some people don't. So it really depends on you personally, but sometimes it is not good to eat the frog first. We hear this term a lot, that you should eat the frog, which means tackling your biggest, most challenging task of the day first thing in the day, so then you have gotten the hardest thing out of the way and the rest should be smooth sailing. Sometimes though, it isn't the best idea to tackle your most tedious task first thing, because then you can experience burnout and you've spent all your energy on that one thing, and now you're not going to be able to focus and do the other things. So when we expel all of our mental capacity on the hardest thing of the day, yes, we finished that thing, but that might be all that we finished that day. So is it really the most productive or the most efficient thing to do? Sometimes I like to start out with a few smaller tasks, and by that I mean like my morning routine and things, maybe responding to some emails, before I really sit down and do like bigger projects of the day. This kind of gets my brain warmed up and ready to go, and it actually makes me more efficient in the bigger project, for me anyway, because I have warmed up my brain and I feel best after a few smaller tasks. I would just pay attention to how you're feeling and what you feel would be the most productive for you on that day. It varies day to day, person to person, but sometimes it's not always great to eat the frog. And on that note, we come to the last tip, which is listen to your mind. Now, obviously, I'm very into exploring emotions and feelings and things like that because I'm just an emotional feeling person, so I like to investigate those. And like I said in my first tip, find out why you're procrastinating. I think that's the biggest tip to take away from all of this. But it's important to listen to your mind while you're doing the task and also figuring out if you have the mental capacity to do it. Sometimes we have to force ourselves and have self-discipline. That's very important. But there are going to be times when we're not at our best mental ability for the day, and that's okay. We're not going to be the most productive that day, and that's fine. If we get a couple small things done, that's great. And breaks are completely essential and necessary to being the most productive and the most efficient in our day, especially when you're trying to do things you don't want to do. Breaks can be the game changer. Breaks and rewards. That's ultimately how I get through procrastination. And also focus on the feeling after you've completed the task that you've been putting off or procrastinating on for so long. Usually that feeling is like the best feeling in the world, and then you can do whatever you want to do because you finished the biggest thing or whatever you've been putting off. So make sure to check out Skillshare if you want some more motivating videos, kind of like this one, or you know, more professional and better organized. Like I said, the first 500 viewers that click on the link below get 2 months free, so you can learn a lot in 2 months. You can watch endless amounts of classes in 2 months. I highly recommend it. Like I said, I pay my own money to maintain this, and I will continue. Anyway, please leave a comment below. What is your best method for beating procrastination? What helps you the most in beating procrastination, so we can all look in the comments, get some good advice on how to actually stop procrastinating. And yeah, just leave a comment. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.